This is Hoshifuri Iku, and you're listening to Hi-Lite Radio. Hello, I'm Hoshifuri Iku, and nice to meet you! Welcome to the very first episode of Hi-Lite Radio. On Hi-Lite Radio, we will be highlighting songs from my upcoming album, Cloud 19, as well as highlighting some comments from fans and even some special guests. Since today is the first episode, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Hoshifuri Iku. I may look like an ordinary girl, but I'm actually from another planet, one that is very, very far away from here. My listeners are called Ikamine, and they are cute, squishy plant blobs, and I love them very much. I debuted as the very first PRISM project agent back in January of 2021 and recently celebrated my 2-year anniversary with my genmates Ali and Mena. I'm so excited to finally be releasing my first album, Cloud 19, as I have been working on this project for a whole year now. The album will come out on February 19th, so we still have a bit more waiting to do. But in the meantime, we can talk about the songs that are already released. So let's jump into the first song highlight. Today we are highlighting the song Cloudscapes. Cloudscapes was a melody that came to me when I couldn't sleep one day and just randomly started humming lullaby melodies to myself. At this point, I had already released my first ever original called Ishoni, which I will highlight another day, but after working on Ishoni, I knew that I wanted to keep releasing originals throughout the year. So I set my next deadline to July 31st, my half-year anniversary. I reached out to a friend asking if she knew any cool music producers to work with, and in her very helpful list of producer recommendations, one stuck out to me, and that was UTALIVE. I had heard some songs from UTALIVE before, and I was confident that they could help me with my vision. For Cloudscapes, I really wanted a lullaby meets lo-fi type of track. I hummed the very rough melody I came up with the other night, and even had my genmate Ali listen just to make sure I wasn't just remembering a pre-existing melody. In fact, I still have the recording. This is what the first ever draft of Cloudscapes sounded like. And it keeps going. Anyways, I sent it to UTALIVE and they took it and worked their magic. What they sent back was an amazing lo-fi track with modified and improved melody that perfectly retained the lullaby theme. Some of the lyrics were inspired by my older VTuber sister and also a picture book that I used to adore when I was on my planet. During the instrumental break, there is a storybook monologue about a certain lonely princess. It's a blurb from my favorite story. The author is unknown, but everyone on my planet knows the story. I wonder why. There is no real message to the lyrics. I just wanted it to be light and dreamy and something easy on the ears so you can fall asleep to it. But the main thing I want listeners to take away is you're never alone. Even if the moon is hidden by the clouds, it's still there watching over you. Alright, now try not to fall asleep. Here is Cloudscapes.
Beyond the clouds, the moon is smiling down on you tonight, and on her neck a chain of stars of Aquarius. Sleep well, my love, I'll see you in your dreams tonight. We'll walk across the sky, a lunar rainbow glows bright.
cherishing it with love and care. Then, the plant grew into a tall tree that watched over her. And the lonely princess? Well, she was certainly never lonely again.
夜中に浮かぶ月を見上げるたびに眠りに誘われ夢の国へと旅だと僕がそばにいるよ西の道たどって歌っていこう雲の海へAlone a rainbow in a wonderland of cloudscapes with you.
When I was a student, I was hanging out with one of my closest friends at night, and we saw a moon halo. A moon halo is when there is a rainbow ring around the moon. It's incredibly beautiful and incredibly rare. There is just something so unreal about it, almost like something you would only see in a dream. This experience is what inspired my favorite lyric in the song. A lunar rainbow glows bright in a wonderland of cloudscapes with you. And that is all for the song highlight of the episode. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to the song. Let's move on to the next corner. Now, it's time for Ikamine Highlights. In the Ikamine Highlights corner, I will be highlighting comments about the Cloud19 album and the Hi-Lite Radio show from listeners. But since the album isn't out yet and this is the first episode of the radio series, I will be highlighting comments from a recent series of QA shorts I released instead. So, let's go! First question. Where would you take your crush on a first date? Nicholas says, I'd go to my favorite local burger joint and get some milkshakes, chocolate and strawberry for me. That's a really good idea. Taking your date to a restaurant is a good way to get to know them, like what food they like or dislike, allergies, etc. But who doesn't like burgers, right? I mean, if they don't like burgers, then why are they even your crush? Lil Bucket says, I will take you to my room because I'm the animal and my room is a zoo, wink wonk. To be honest, that doesn't actually sound so bad because I'm a neat freak and so I would probably enjoy cleaning your room with you. It may surprisingly be a cute date idea. Alright, next question. What helps you sleep? Gary Mon says, I turn on the AC to make it a few degrees colder with timer. Actually, hot shower is also recommended too by professionals to help fall asleep. That's actually very true. You naturally become drowsy when it's a little colder because your body tries to generate body heat. Although for me, I usually need to keep the heater on to sleep because I'm easily cold. Maybe my body is just too lazy to make its own heat. Meriden says, I just don't sleep, I stay up. Alright, now I would lecture you about the importance of quality sleep here, but I don't practice what I preach, so I'll just refrain from commenting any further. Okay, but please get some sleep when you can. Alright, and here is the last question. What is on your bucket list? Super Dark Aqua says, I'd like to make an album. I have to get better at singing, making music, and mixing first, but maybe someday. Hey, same here! Making this album was definitely a big bucket list item for me, and I'm finally checking that off in 6 days! If I could do it, you can too. I'm rooting for you! Zagan says, on my bucket list is to play in the snow as where I live there is no snow. Another thing on my bucket list is to go to Japan or, in general, travel to a country outside of the US. Playing in snow is also a bucket list item for me too! I hope we both get to play in the snow in the near future. As for traveling, can confirm Japan is an amazing place to visit. I personally want to visit France one day. I hear the bread is delicious. And that is all for today. Thank you everyone for your comments. If you would like to send me a message and possibly be featured in the Ikamine Highlights Corner, please use the hashtag Hi-Lite Radio on Twitter. That is HILITE Radio. Let me know what you think about the Hi-Lite Radio show and what you're looking forward to about the upcoming album. I'll be waiting for your responses. Ooh, time flies when you're having fun, right? I've always wanted to do a radio show like this, so I'm so happy I'm finally doing it. By the way, before settling on a name for Hi-Lite Radio, we had some pretty wacky ideas. Since we wanted to discuss Cloud19 on the show, my manager and I brainstormed some cloud-related names, and I looked up cloud-related puns for inspo, but they weren't very helpful. There were some pretty cute ones though. My favorite pun was, why did the little clouds admire the big cloud? Because he was the reigning champion. Pretty cute, right? Anyways, this is how we eventually settled on the name Hi-Lite Radio. I took my initials, H from Hoshifuri and I from Iku to make hi. Then I thought about words or phrases that start with the word hi. Hi-Lite was a very fitting one because the whole idea of this show was to talk about select songs from my album. But I changed the light in Hi-Lite to LITE, as in the DS Lite, because each episode will be short and easily digestible. So there you have it, Hi-Lite Radio. I think it's a really cool name, but what do you guys think? That is all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening to the very first episode of Hi-Lite Radio. In the next episode, we will be highlighting the song Your Princess. And we will also be having a special guest. My first album, Cloud19, will come out on February 19th and will be available for streaming on all major music streaming platforms. Please look forward to it, and I will see you in the next episode of Hi-Lite Radio. See you next time.